Hello everyone, welcome back to the revival. Good news, after the abject failure of our team to get on the score sheet against Arsenal in the last episode, we've bounced back with a 2-0 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it was a great performance for one player in particular. Let's take you to the highlights now and we'll show you what I mean. Jonjo Shelvey, the hero of the hour, scoring two fantastic goals against Wolves. The first one, and wouldn't you know it, the moment I'm not recording a full episode, we finally get an outside-the-box cracker. There we are, from all of, 25, 30 yards out. He takes a touch, sets himself on his favoured right foot, and then just lashes it into the bottom corner against a despairing Wolves goalkeeper. A very good first goal for him, and then the second goal, a collector's piece, a free kick. We don't score many of these, and again I've done both of them off of stream for some amazing reason. A nicely placed free kick. It could have actually been a bit closer to the corner, but I'm not going to argue. So there you go, a wonderful performance, not just by the team as a whole, but in particular Jonjo Shelvey. And I think that performance alone is enough to cement his position in the team for some time to come. He's only 29, so he's got plenty of time ahead of him still, and although he might be declining slightly, I've been nothing but impressed with Shelvey's ability to do multiple jobs in the centre of the park. He's not just a creative force, he's also very good in the tackle. He shores us up. He gives us exactly the same kind of qualities that Nkunku brought when he came in, and it's a large reason why Almiron is now sitting on the bench along with Junior. Although Junior did play in that match and he did okay, but he was a little bit anonymous. That's entirely possible that it's because it's his first season at the club. He's still bedding in. He'll have better games than that, but I imagine he could probably have worse as well. So today anyway, we are back in the Champions League. We're visiting Porto, playing at the Metropole Arena in Portugal. There's not a massive amount of pressure on the game. We already have a decent number of points on the board. Porto are probably the best team in the group, so if we were to lose this one, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. That being said, I'm in no mood to lose a match today, so let's get back into it. Okay, well, after all of that praise for Shelvey, it looks like his form has taken an absolute nosedive for this one. He's looking a little bit tired anyway. His stamina isn't entirely where we would want it to be, so we might take the opportunity just to give Almiron a game. We'll swap him and Nkunku round so we maintain the balance that we used to have with defence on the right. And Hummel's not looking great, so we'll use that opportunity to give Debo a game. Other than that, I think the team pretty much picks itself. Of course, it's Monday today. I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. I certainly did.
Well, there is a real sense of expectation here.
So let's now see what we can do at the Metropole Arena.
There should be little doubt that they are favourites to make it through.
In the Champions League.
After all, a point is all that is needed, but it is a job that still needs to be done. Excitement, expectation, but not quite certainty.
Let's put pressure on that ball early, make sure the high block is in operation. We just lost out a little bit there. We might suffer on the break here. Actually, Porto passing very nicely in front of us. The front three there, really working well for them. And here we are now on the break. Almiron pushing into space. Plays the ball through to Maxime. No, couldn't quite get on it. I did let up, unfortunately. I assumed that I wasn't going to get to the ball and I gave up on the run. So entirely my fault. Let's put the cross into the box. Header. No, nothing doing there, but Hayden picks it up on the edge of the area, plays it out to Almiron. Can Almiron do something? No, he's been closed down far too quick, and actually he's been dispossessed, and now we're in trouble again. They do have a runner, and if they can find him... Oh, Almiron's done a very good job of winning the ball back there. Into Maximan, who loses the ball again. They're very good defensively. Oh, hello, Almiron, he's through. Oh, just wide of the right post. Great play from Almiron, showing real hustle. That's not his game. He's a creative player more than a player that will put his foot in, but he must have had a fire lit under him after the exploits of Shelvey and Nkunku. This is why competition for places is a good thing.
Good challenge, he just stood firm.
Good tackle by Lascelles into Coco, floated through ball to Werner. He's not going to be able to get to that, unfortunately. Still bedding in a little bit. Players don't entirely know what ball he wants played, and that is going to play into his effectiveness running onto those balls.
Well, it's a bold attempt, in my opinion, to occupy the opposition in a way they're not expecting.
He'll come good. I mean, he's already scoring goals for us, and that's with absolutely no familiarity between him and his teammates. So imagine what he's going to be like when he's bedded in properly. Okay, here we go. Almiron, he's just not quite managed to get onto the ball there. The ball's a little bit loose towards him. Porto back in possession, and Nkunku now looking to close down Telles. Oh, and in fact, it wasn't even... No, the ball's gone out of play. Coco trying to win the ball. Got to applaud the guy. Oh, hello, loose ball. Unfortunately, can't quite get it under control. Yeah, you got to applaud Coco for putting his foot in. Like, he's a forward. He's not built to tackle. Here we go, Almiron. Werner might be offside. He may have held his place onside, actually. He has. Ball into the box. Header. Oh, unlucky. Just unable to get to it. And now they bring the ball out with Manafa. I'm probably butchering these names. Ibanez across to Ndai. Plays it forward. Centre forward gives up on it, and Tatibo picks up the loose ball. And now it's Newcastle's turn to attack again. It's a little bit loose in the middle of the park here. That's all right, though. Back in possession with Willems.
He needs a minder, and one of his teammates should be picking up on that, and quickly.
Nice through ball to Willems. We know he's got a decent left foot on him. Whips it in. It was a good cross. Almiron now. Can he do something?
Oh, that's nice.
Just looking for an opening. Might try it on his right foot. Hello, hello. Oh, it's a good shot, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. And Nkunku rightly frustrated. With a little better finishing, we might have seen something special from the young man there.
A good deal hanging on what they can achieve here. A point will do.
Good front pressure again, making sure they don't have too much time on the ball. They play a loose one. Ball's played forward to Nkunku. Can he release Werner with a good through ball? He might be able to. He does. It's in. It's 1-0 to Newcastle. Nkunku showing his ability on the ball. What a fantastic through ball to Werner. And there was the big German to finish it off with absolute unerring efficiency. There's a reason you buy a German striker. Vorsprung Dirk technique, which probably doesn't apply to a footballer. Can't even remember what it translates to, but it just felt right saying it. Look at this through ball here. And Werner just guides it in with the inside of his right foot. No need for the R2 button there. What a fantastic pass from Nkunku. And he has become an absolute stalwart in this side since Almiron slipped out of favour. What a goal. 1-0 to Newcastle, and if this lead is maintained, they will be going through to the knockout stages without question.
That's the way you go about things if you want to qualify. It's superb.
Still again, good front pressure. I'm really liking this pressure that we're exerting on the back line. Just taking up positions in the passing lanes, making sure that they can't get an easy pass out. Eventually they do manage one, and now they're on the break a little bit. They have a wide man out of spare. A decent through ball, but it's picked up by Tatibo, plays it back to the goalkeeper. No need to panic. Lascelles now plays it out wide to Henriks, the right back, who plays it in to Werner. That's a good ball, but unfortunately Werner unable to control it well.
It's a Boubacar. Varela.
A little bit of a mix-up between the Porto players allows us to gain possession back, but then a mix-up between our players almost gives them possession. Hayden just lobs it forward to the right wing. Nice. No, unfortunately that pass was not good enough. Brilliant interception to Thibaut there. I'm parroting what the commentators are saying at this point, but that doesn't make it any less true.
That's gone a long way up and away.
That's a rushed clearance by the goalkeeper. Newcastle going to be able to take advantage of it. It's a bad pass though. Nearly made the most of it. Coco with his infectious running, doing his best, and that's it. 1-0 at half-time thanks to a Timo Werner goal, in no small part down to the fantastic vision of Nkunku. Decent stats for the away team. 46% possession is not bad for an away fixture. We've intercepted a decent number of attempts, not as many actually as Porto have managed, but overall I'm very happy with that first half. I don't see any need to change anything. We're going to jump straight into the second and see what we can do here.
Just 45 minutes from now, we will know who goes through from this group.
Oh, it's a very good wide ball if he can get on. He has got onto it. Hendricks now whips it in. And, oh my word! Good Lord Almighty! That is very unfortunate for the German.
Hit into the middle, and that has been cleared.
That was very nearly goal of the season from Timo Werner there. Good Lord Almighty! He just tries things that you shouldn't.
Created one goal already.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, it's a very good interception by the defender to stop the goal. If it hadn't have been for that touch, I've got no doubt whatsoever that it would have ended up in the back of the net. And now Porto on the break, very dangerous looking in this second half already. Managed to just about win it off of the man.
Well dealt with.
Out to Hendricks on the right wing, looking for the run. Nkunku makes the run. Can he get across into the box? I think he might be able to. He does. Werner, it's 2-0. And yet again, Werner and Nkunku combining to create the goal for Newcastle. These two forming quite the partnership.
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward.
Good ball down the line, and Nkunku making the intelligent run, and then Werner finding the perfect place to take advantage of the cross. Just tucks it in at the near post, and does it clip off of the post? Let's have a look on this replay. No, yes it does. He puts it in off of the goalkeeper, off of the post, and then into the net. Somehow those goals are always more satisfying when they clip off of the post.
Newcastle get themselves a 2-goal cushion.
2-0 now, unless Newcastle... Oh, hello, Werner has intercepted the ball. He's on the run. He's being hassled by a couple of players. He plays it back. Oh, it was a terrible pass. Tried to play it back to Maximan, but obviously unsighted. You don't really want to attempt those kind of passes, unsighted passes, in difficult situations. Certainly if it was a defensive situation, I would be looking for a much easier out ball. Oh, that's brilliant from Hendricks. Just sticks with the man, picks it up. Maximan out to Willems. Willems has Almiron on the wing if he needs him, and he has tried the ball, but it hasn't quite worked out for him. Porto playing it back into the centre. Hendricks is with his man Diaz. Diaz plays it back to Telles. There's plenty of space in between the lines here, and Porto taking full advantage, and this could be a goal. Oh, Schubert takes 2 bites at that particular cherry, manages to keep it safe.
Someone looks like he's in need of protection.
Ah, that's not a good touch from Hendricks. As good as he's been defensively, his ability to control the ball, not the best. I think he's a player that likes to have the ball played ahead of him so he can run onto it rather than taking possession and moving on from there. Ball into the box. Porto could get a goal here. No.
And he's there to cut it out. Nkunku.
Ooh, Newcastle playing a dangerous game, passing the ball out here, but they have managed it. Oh no, there we go. Porto on the ball again. The hustle of the Newcastle players, though, they're still not giving up on any ball. Any ball lost at all, they're working their nuts off to get it back. This could... Don't like it when the... Oh, my word.
He's got away with one there.
He's angry, and he's got every right to be, honestly. I wondered if that might have been a goal then. Managed to just about get away with it. 70 minutes on the clock. We'll have to make a change soon. In fact, we might go into the menu. Oh my word, what was that, Willems? Okay, well, now that the ball's out of play, we'll go in and have a look at how everyone's holding up. And that might be the reason why his control was so poor. He's starting to get tired. So we're going to make a change, which we're making this change fairly often now. We're going to bring on Mathieu for Williams. For Willems. Now I've got hiccups. And Werner, having got 2 goals, I don't want to deny him the chance to get a hat-trick, but I'm also of a mind to bring on Joel Linton to give him a run out, because he hasn't had a game for a couple of matches now. And I think also we might give Ribery a little bit of a run out on the left wing. So, of course, the danger of all the substitutions that we've made is we've changed the entire left-hand side of the team. We're going to have to be careful of attacks down our left wing, their right wing. It might take us a minute or two for the players to get into the game. And Ribery is not going to afford you the same... Oh, dear.
He gets past his man.
Good tackle there by Tatibo. As I was saying, Ribery is not going to give you the same level of defensive cover on the wing that a player like Maximan might. It's not like Maximan is a fantastic defensive player. It's just that compared to Ribery, he's definitely a lot better. Oh dear, we made an absolute meal of that one. And again. Porto now might be on the... No, brilliantly won there by Hayden. Hayden way far forward. Going to have to be... Oh, hello. Intercepted. Smash it. Oh, Ribery had a golden opportunity to open his account. And he's fluffed his lines, unfortunately. Maybe I should have gone for the R2. Maybe I should have tried dribbling a little bit further clear of the defenders. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Hoists it forward.
Here we go now. Another attack down the right wing. Coco on the ball, plays it back into Nkunku. Nkunku squares it.
Timely intervention. Ahead by 2 and just about into the
Porto flooding forward in great numbers now. They're looking for this goal. That's too long. It's going to go out for a goal kick, thankfully.
Communications breakdown. Final checks on the touchline.
And now they make their final 2 changes of the game.
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to see that the crowd appreciate his efforts, because he has put in a real honest shift.
Lobbed out to Mathieu. He might actually lob it back to the goalkeeper. Got closed down very quickly there. Just play it along the floor now.
Lascelles,
Henriks. For the runner Coco, who's on the ball now. There's a through ball there to Nkunku. Nkunku's going to get on the ball, but he's not going to be able to do much with it. Coco lobs it into the box. Header! Oh, just the wrong side of the post. But Ribery, having started him in a left wing forward role, is popping up absolutely everywhere. Very apparent that he likes to play through the centre when he can. Might look at training later and see if we change him to a roaming forward, if he's not already training as a roaming forward. Or roaming winger, I should say. That might be offside. No, it's not. Oh, my word, that's very, very heavy. I'm surprised that wasn't given as a foul, honestly. And again, Porto flooding forward in great numbers. Hayden sticking his foot in, doing what needs to be done. And that's it. We are qualified, as you can tell from the joy on Ribery's face. Thanks to the double-edged sword of Nkunku and Timo Werner.
That is one big weight off your shoulders now. Progress.
2 nicely worked goals.
If you consider the performances.
Very, very happy with the performance tonight.
They can already start their preparations for the next step. Which,
by the celebrations, you'd imagine that we'd won the thing, let alone qualified for the knockouts. But there we go. Looking at the stats, I think they're being very harsh on a couple of players here. Henriks, although he wasn't great where it came to losing possession on the wing and letting the ball run out of play, 4.5. I'm sorry, but I think from now on, I'm just going to, in my head, add 2 points onto every rating. So with that in mind, Schubert gets a 7, Lascelles get a 7, Todibo 8, Willems 7, Henrik 6.5. Not his best game, but he still gave us a lot defensively. I wouldn't be without him, honestly. Hayden gets an 8, Nkunku gets a 9, Almiron 7.5, Alan St. Maximan gets an 8 along with Coco, Timo Werner a 9.5 for 2 goals, you'd expect that. Joelinton a 7, Ribery gets an 8, and Mathieu gets a 7. I mean, I'm not going to carry on doing that, obviously, but in my own mind, I'm definitely going to be adding between 1 and 2 points to every score, because 4.5, that is an absolute travesty. How he has been rated lower than almost every player on the opposition side is beyond me. That shouldn't be allowed to stand. So looking at the other results in our group, well, the other result in our group, Milan beat Olympiacos 3-0 at Olympiacos. And it will be interesting to see what that does to the table. Looking at some of the other results, Zenit downed 4-2 by Fenerbahce, Real Madrid beating Copenhagen 3-0, Manchester City edging a 1-0 result over PSV, Ghent beating Roma 4-1. That is a shock. That's a massive shock. Donetsk holding Lyon. I think that could be counted as something of a surprise. Zagreb beaten 2-0 by Atletico. PSG 2, Galatasaray 0. Liverpool beating Celtic 2-0. I mean, that's always an interesting game to watch when Celtic play Liverpool. Juventus 0, Bruges 1. That is a surprise. I am very, very surprised by that result. PAOK versus Tottenham ended with a 1-0 win for Spurs. Bayern Munich beating Moscow 1-0. Ajax winning 1-0 at Young Boys. Barcelona held to a 1-1 draw by Benfica. They won't be happy with that result at all. And Dinamo Kiev 2, Napoli 4. Let's see how the table sits now. So there's Newcastle unbeaten on 12 points, having conceded only 1 goal in the group entirely. We will not be caught for second place at the very least now. Milan taking a very steady, controlling hand to second place in the table. I think it's almost certainly going to be Newcastle and Milan qualifying from this group now. Looking at the other groups, we can see Zenit are actually ahead of Real Madrid in their group. But again, it looks like those 2 teams are going to go through in one order or the other. Manchester City definitely in charge of Group C with a real dogfight between Ghent and Roma for second. Of course, that not helped by the fact that Ghent beat Roma, so that's actually turned the group a little bit upside down for them. Atletico Madrid and Donetsk, kind of surprised that Lyon aren't second, but it is very close, it could change. They've conceded a lot of goals in comparison to... Actually, you know what? Looking at that, they've not really scored many or conceded many. They must have had a lot of 0-0s. Liverpool and PSG in control of this group, definitely not a surprise, but it's kind of a shame to not see Celtic kind of pushing them a little bit harder for at least the second place spot. Juventus and Tottenham, excuse me, I don't know why I keep yawning. Juventus and Tottenham definitely in control of Group F. I can't see that being turned around now. Bayern and Ajax going to qualify from Group G, possibly. Moscow pushing Ajax, though, so we have to keep an eye on that. Benfica are running... I mean, this is actually a really close group for second place. Barcelona running away with it a little bit, but looking at the points gap between second and fourth, 1 win for a certain team could change absolutely everything in that group. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Off camera, we did get another offer for our stalwart defender, our captain, fantastic, Matt Hummels, and they actually offered £49 million for him. It was Arsenal. Again, they're desperate for a decent centre-back. Honestly, I don't blame them. We have not turned it down yet, but only because we're trying to extend Hummels' contract for another year or 2. I'm going to be trying to bring Tebow in more and more to build him up as a replacement. But there's no reason to put the cart before the horse. Why get rid of Hummels when he's still an excellent defender? So it looks as though he has agreed a new contract with us, and that new contract, amazingly, he's actually reduced his demands from £102,000 a week to £80,000 a week. It's good business for us. We get him for another 2 years, and on top of that, it maintains the release fee not being set, which means that if we do want to sell him, we could sell him for literally any amount of money that we see fit. So we are going to accept the contract. Because why wouldn't you? It gives us an extra 20 grand to spend a week. And then we're going to end negotiations with Arsenal. I'm sorry, I know you're desperate for a centre-back, but we're not going to sell you ours. Verdonk is on his way to Atlanta, as we saw a few episodes ago, for 14 million. That will happen in January. Nothing else going on in here. There's been an update in the youth team. Okay, so we've received a loan offer for Wanfran for 6 months. They're going to give us £4.7 million. This is Shimizu S-Pulse in the J-League. That's definitely worth it. I was absolutely set on offering Wanfran a contract with the club as and when we could clear the decks for him. See, we have Henriks that plays right back for us, and we have Yedlin. If we had been able to sell Yedlin, I would have brought Wanfran in as our backup right back. But this actually makes good sense for us financially. Also, it allows Wanfran to get game time and to improve as a player. He's already rated at 74, so he's not a bad player by any means. But there is always room for improvement. And also, because he only will cost us £15,000 a week, now that we've agreed that contract with Hummels, actually, we get a player for free, essentially. And we still keep 5,000 in the piggy bank. So we're definitely going to accept that transfer, that loan transfer, I should say. 4.7, nothing to be sniffed at. It will bolster the coffers slightly since we spent all that money on Junior. We're now up to £43 million. We could probably dip into the market again in January if we so desired. And we're going to redouble our efforts to sell Yedlin. So let's just have a look at the transfer policy. He's on the loan list. He's on the transfer list. We're open to offers from teams. We're basically going to have to accept any offer that comes in January, because if we don't, he's going to walk for nothing. So let's make sure that we get money for Yedlin when all comes to an end. Right, that's going to do us for another episode. Next time when you join us, we will be taking in, ignore the fact that I'm playing England, we'll be taking in Tottenham versus Newcastle, and then following that up as a double header with Newcastle versus Milan. It might be a bit of a throwaway game, but it's always good to see Newcastle test themselves against the greatest teams of Europe. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.